No one can hear me. Now people can hear me. Good morning. God bless. Welcome to another episode of Blerd Lines Podcast. It's your host with the most that has been here for over a month, Cybercap. And we have Dadpad. We have Lady Gunner, but none of those people matter because you see them on a regular. We got a guest in here, first time on here with me and him at the same time. My boy, young Mr. Wilson, aka Captain Diesel. How y'all doing? How y'all doing this fine Sunday morning?
My brother, I'm blessed. I can't complain too much.
Hey man,
I got problems.
You got problems? Why you got problems? What's your beef, player? What's your beef with it?
No.
Egg roll was
I'm
crazy.
choosing violence today.
I'm with it.
Not egg roll. This is just a little turkey wrap.
Okay. Okay.
I ain't mad at
Okay.
it.
You know what
I
I'm
am not mad.
Let me shut the fuck up.
Good with that. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all being here this morning. My fault. I just should have adjusted the audio, but I was able to fix that. What y'all been up to, man? What's going on? We haven't been here for quite a little while. I'm sorry for Lady Gunner. Oh, I know what she's been doing. Sleeping. Next.
Suffering and sleeping.
Yeah, the double S, suffering and sleeping. But no. How you been, Lady Gunner?
Been good, just trying to each day is a new day, learn something new every day. And suffering while I play Overwatch. But that's about it.
And Tekken. Forget Tekken.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tekken give me memory loss.
Not memory. Damn, beat the memory out of
It
her.
beat my ass to the court. I mean, it beat the sense out of me every time.
You have no more room in this brain for input for combos. Let me beat the shit out of you real quick.
Yep.
The racism. Charlie, Mr. Wilson, Captain Diesel, my young protege. How you been, player?
Hey man, I'm good. Real quick though, Gunner's fucking me up because like half her, she rocking a Sasuke right now because one of her arms is cut off by the green screen. That was fucking me up for a second. I was like, damn, she don't got an arm for real? That's crazy.
Wild. What if I didn't have the arm? How could you?
I mean, hey, then I'd be canceled. It'd be pretty bad. I'm good though, man.
But her Tekken career would be canceled.
That's tough.
What? I just play with my feet.
I don't know. I've seen that one dude, a documentary that one came where he like was playing with his mouth or some shit.
Yeah, he was a dog too.
Lady Gaga,
please
don't smack me when I ask this. But is your mouth game that strong that you can beat people with a control?
100%.
Probably.
Oh, she said 100%. She said
100%. We just losing all the time.
He said my mouth game will whoop niggas. Crazy work. Yeah, Pat, how you been, man?
Hands don't work. This mouth do.
I told you I'm choosing violence today.
Okay.
I'm choosing violence today.
Okay, we're choosing violence. I've been pretty good. Oh no, go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, but I will say that I think my dog is Lockjaw from Inhumans.
Lockjaw crazy.
Yeah, somehow my dog got out of the house yesterday. We checked the security system. There were no like doors open for like the span of hours. But yesterday, after the fight, actually, is why I hopped out the chat so like promptly. Took Cora out to the bathroom, and the neighbors like waving me down. I'm like, what do these niggas want? So I like first kind of just wave at them, thinking they're just like being overly nice, and then I like kind of look a little harder. I'm like, is that Nipsey? Still have no fucking clue how I got at the house. Like, checked all the security cameras, nobody opened the door, but that nigga was outside playing, so he is clearly Lockjaw
or Stitch.
Dang, free Nipsey.
Free young Nip. But for me, I've been
don't free that nigga. Nigga cost about $4,000. He can stay right where the fuck he at.
Keep a good dog down. Free Nipsey.
$4,000?
Yeah, you got it. That's crazy.
Yeah, French bulldogs are not cheap.
That nigga pay rent? He got a job?
I wish.
You better be fucking for some money.
We never got him neutered in hopes that we might find somebody that would want to mate with him one day. But all of our people that we know that have Frenchies are all some bitches.
But a nigga outside, he trying to find some shit.
He looked in the camera and said, "Are also bitches." He looked you in your eye and said that.
I'll whoop his ass.
That part. I've been good. Proud of y'all. Everyone here has been working. There's been a lot of good work going on, man. 7th project done this week. I'm back streaming. Shout out to your boy. Got a schedule. Check me out at CyberCap 2011 at Twitch.tv every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Doing tech streams, Techno Tuesday, Troubleshoot Thursdays, and Saturday mornings as I play Baldur's Gate Murder with my boy Ryan, and later on that day play some Final Fantasy 14.
Murder.
Oh yeah, and 16. I'm finishing 16 as well. But yeah, self-promo.
Oh,
Shameless plug. But we have today's beef day. I allowed G to be quiet for a whole week because he said if I go in this week, man, it's gonna be too much. So I allowed that permission slip to be accepted. Then we got young Wilson. I actually got a couple questions because this man has been spamming the chat with racism.
Oh yeah,
Spamming the chat with racism. We got some X-Men 97 that just has been glorious. Shout out to Magneto. I see nothing wrong that he does. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
No, as soon as he said enough, I was on his side. We have so we got that. We got some oh, he bringing in the belt. Oh, it's bad.
Oh
We got-
Lord.
We got some announcements for the team, good work, and so on and so forth. But before we begin and do that, because we had to cut some stuff slim, I want to thank everyone that was here at the Blerd Lines Media boxing show last night. We seen one hell of a fight. That was an amazing event. Thank you everyone for pulling up. Thank you Fury and Usyk. The better man won. After rewatching that fight, the better man won. It was the first time that I saw a boxing match where I knew it was going to be 50-50. And the expectation of each fighter coming through and doing their part. Usyk footwork and a masterful jab. Fury with his reach and his body movement for a damn near 300-pound man. I expected all that. Things I didn't expect to go that well. Usyk's body shots being taken so well. Fury's recovery is just ridiculous, man. Him being a little bit too cautious definitely cost him the fight, in my opinion. Usyk being able to take a punch, phenomenal. He changed his life. He changed his country's life. He is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, which means he is the man. We have the rematch clause in October, and rumor came back that he went directly to the hospital because he was fighting with a broken jaw the entire fight.
Damn.
Which means
wait, who had a broken jaw?
Usyk.
Mm.
He had a broken jaw.
Probably why he didn't want to talk, because he did not want to talk in the interviews at all. He was ready to go.
That proved the point. Like he got his jaw broke. And boxing
Yeah, that
news,
means he should have put more pressure on that man.
man, because he would have got him. He would have got him. Which means Fury, that shows that Fury's jabs that we think wasn't really hitting that hard, that nigga got some power. Tune in June 15th for probably one of the most expensive and biggest fights of the year. Davis versus Frank rehydration clause has been dismissed. I know that's the main event, but the real fight to me is the co-main event, the Mexican Monster and his next victim. So
Raza.
please make that fight happen with him and Canelo so I can put on my Mexican colors and be Spanish for a day.
Right, sombreros and burritos, my boy.
Man, what I already know. I'm expanding the entire day. I can curl my hair up. I can speak a little, you know what I'm saying, beginner Spanish. Come here.
My hair up is crazy.
I'm saying, get cowboy boots, you know what I'm saying? But let's get today's start, man. I'm on one. I got the shades on. Charlie, to start it off, because I need Mr. CEO, Mr. Pennyworth, to go ahead and warm up. He just got the engine there. Start off with some racism that you saw this week.
Oh yeah, this has been a good week for basketball, for the NBA. A lot of narratives talk. Obviously, we're in the playoffs, so every game, somebody's whole career and legacy is on the line. Apparently, this week has been the week of the Georgia-born, Mr. Red Clay himself. Anthony Edwards has been going generational. This is also the first time in a very long time where we've seen these young players take over. I said my belief that the league has been left in better hands than it has been in the years prior. So where the old guard is phasing out and you have so much abundance of young talent that is like stepping up to the plate and performing well. The best games of the playoffs this year have been nothing but young guys that are going to be in the league probably the next decade competing with one another. And Anthony Edwards, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Those dudes came to play, they came to show up. And it is, again, it's been a lot of racism because this man Jokic has been doing some things that cannot be legal to people. Game 5 was crazy. Granted, his teammates will say, I'll say, dropped the ball in Game 6 because there weren't too many people that were hitting shots in Game 6, and now we're going to a Game 7 tonight. Actually, that is going to be very, very anxiety-inducing for a lot of people, fans of both of these teams. Last night, we just saw Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving close out the series last night. And I want to just say those two in combination of PJ Washington and great minutes from Jaden Hardy, I think. It was a great series. The Thunder played great. The Thunder are going to be a really dangerous team going forward because you pretty much have your entire team in your core set to go. All you have to do is just get older and grow and develop. You don't have to add too many pieces outside of a big man. They get a backup big, they can run this shit back for a very long time if they can pay everybody. But all in all, the league's in great hands, man. It's going to be very entertaining. This is the perfect time for casual fans to get into the sport because you have so many young players you can attach to that are going to be around for a long time. And there's not too many narratives already around them already either. So in the media, the old media is starting to phase out.
There is one big media piece. Anthony Edwards is the long lost child of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he's a clone. Fuck that. That nigga's he's a Jordan clone. When his hairline, I'll tell you this, that nigga, when his hairline start to go, that nigga's scoring average is about to go up 10 points. His hairline's too good right now. Once your hairline start to go, that's when your career take off. Ask Bron, ask Jordan, ask Kobe, ask KD. When you start to thin or that hairline go, that's when your career take off for real.
Good, man. Shout out to the WNBA. I've been watching some phenomenal women basketball for sure.
Some phenomenal women's basketball that's already been there.
And I've been watching Chicago because I'm an Angel Reese fan, and I've been watching her. I've been watching them go off. And one thing I have to say, and I think two of y'all might agree, and I hope y'all agree, and I hope the people watching agree. I love the fact that the league is on Caitlin Clark, as tough as she is. I mean, as tough as they are on her, and she's not folding. Yeah. When she has her moment where she's like, I'm not taking this shit no more, in the next 2 to 3 years, I'm expecting terrifying numbers from her.
She's going to be a demon.
The
tough thing is she's coming in the sport playing the hardest position as a rookie to play, and you're getting Alonzo Ball treatment where you got hyped up, so every player you play against all season long is going to be coming at your throat.
Mm-hmm. And she's not backing down. She's getting the Kobe treatment, in my opinion. She's like, okay, this young fella coming in, I'm gonna shoot this motherfucker. It's like, cool. The veterans are on your ass. She already got the dog in her. She already got the dog.
So this is my thing though. Caitlin Clark can be something special, but I feel like she got a lot to learn. And the reason she's behind the 8 ball compared to some of these other players that came in, like Angel Reese, is because the way that she played in college is not conducive to a actual well-oiled machine of a team. Like, you can't come from a team where you're shooting 50, 60% of all the shots for the entire team and then come into the pro league and think that's the way the game is supposed to be ran. Because in reality, 10 turnovers. Like, my thing is, if you push 5 turnovers, a wiser player is like, you know what? Let me not hold on to this so much. She got a lot to learn, bro, and I think that a lot of it has to do with her coaches because, like, Angel Reese coach, we already talked about it like last year. Like she wasn't having the shit. She was like, "Hey, I don't like the attitude. Sit down. There's too much shenanigans off the court. Sit down." But like, it seems like Caitlin, they was just like, "Hey, just do what you want out there."
But see, that's on the court versus off the court. Caitlin, it's again, Charlie said it. She's running. She has to run the offense. She is the person to go through for this offense.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And she again, she's gonna be one of those players, like, she's gonna get her touches. She has to learn to get better at that position because they're gonna come at her as a dog. Angel Reese and who's the other one that they end up drafting, Charlie?
Cardoso.
Yeah, they're dogs in themselves, and they're playing lights out in their positions, but they're not the ones running the offense.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So Caitlin also has something that Angel Reese didn't have. She's a threat behind the arc, regardless of what you say. That woman is a threat behind the arc, so they're going to press her more. Once she learns to get more spacing, get behind that, and be more, I think she's going to be a threat. But this is just the first wave of terrifying players. NCAA has two more people that are about to come in and change the game.
Paige, I'm ready for Paige.
Paige is about to come through like, I'm not here for none of that.
A few things to like kind of keep in mind is that to Greg's point, when you look at the way the WNBA game is played, well, a lot of the issues that they've had, I mean, some ignorant people talked about like the rims being lower, but when you look at the way they play, they are still in like, in NBA terms, it's still like the 2000s in how they play basketball. It's still very interior oriented. It's still very like big man oriented. If you have larger players that are even somewhat skilled, you see dominate. You see Candace Parker, like how she took off being 6'9" with guard skills. You're seeing Angel Reese play very well now because she's still very physical back to the basket. Cardoso is very dissimilar. Like the best teams in the league have very large players. Asia Wilson's large with guard skills.
Those are women.
Yeah, even then. So when you look at how they need to, at least for Caitlin's team, because she's the first of that type of prototype in that league, you have to give them time to build that out. Because a lot of the big issues too, when you watch the Indiana Fever, they don't really run too many pick and roll action with Caitlin. Like when you go back to watch her when she was at Iowa, they were running that high pick and roll and just letting her operate up top like that. Her coach is having her run a lot more sets, which is good. Again, to your point, it's good for her development because you're not making it to where the only thing she can do is ISO up top. You're making her run through sets. So when she has to, she can. But the difficulty is she's not playing how she normally plays and doesn't have a team built around her as she normally had. Because you also have to keep in mind, when you're number one pick, it's probably because your team wasn't very good in the league.
Fever has been
in comparison
for the past 2 years.
Pick. That's just the way the lottery works. When you're a better to a worse team, you get higher picks to get better talent, try to even out the league. Because Aaliyah Boston hasn't been playing too well in her own right on that team as well. She's been a great off the court from what we've seen, but she just hasn't been playing very well so far. So once they build that team up some more, and again, this is the time for Caitlin to get those 10 turnovers. Like, do all that stuff now because you need to figure out how they're going to guard you. Because once she goes to a full season of seeing all the possible actions they're going to throw at her, and she adapts to the coverage she's going to get, she's going to start taking off. Because once you know all the moves people are going to come at you with, you know how to counter that stuff. Because in basketball in general, you're always going to have an advantage offensively because the defense in A-League is always reactionary to what you're doing. So once you have an idea of how you're going to get guarding, then you can build counters to that stuff. It's going to be difficult. Because the direct comparisons are always Steph Curry, but to that point, it's very similar to Steph Curry. How after you go through your struggles, like for him, like the first 6 years of his career where he played well, but he was struggling with coverages and the physicality of the game. Once he figured that out, you really can't do shit with him because he's seen it all. You have to make up new schemes for him.
Yeah, I look forward to see where things go. I hope that she adapts, but at the same time, one could argue that so far she's only been a one-trick pony. And I kind of get that as well, because I mean, even you guys said it, high pick and roll, operate up top, get the shot. So I'm curious to see how this kind of plays out.
Well, to counter your one-trick pony, the offenses in college did not force her to adapt, so she was playing her game. Like so,
exactly. So that's why I say that I'm curious to see if she is able to adapt. So I'm really like I'm not either way. I don't think she's going to be terrible. I'm not saying she's going to be great. I'm like in the camp of sit in the bleachers, hand me the popcorn. Let's see how this goes.
I'm on the side of I know she's gonna be great. It's just that her and Angel Reese is like Magic versus Bird to me. When Caitlin lost, he was like, no, they deserve to talk their shit. They won. That's my girl. I knew that motherfucker was in the gym saying, I'm finna go off next season. That's a dog. That's a
Mhm.
competitive player, and that entire class from every single person there got that dog in them. And I am a fan of the WNBA. I've been watching Chicago real tough because, of course, Angela Reese. I am a fan, and that entire roster. So looking forward to it. But that being said, let's get X-Men 97 off because CEO Pennyworth got the papers. He got the papers. X-Men 97. Lady Gunner, first off, Lady Gunner, are you caught up?
Nah, I'm watching it with somebody, but you could talk about it. It's okay.
Okay.
This,
Or what
why are you
episode
watching
you
it with somebody? What is wrong with you?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
talk
fuck
about it.
y'all.
It's okay, because I'm like right there.
What episode are you on?
I'm like 2 episodes until I get to the
Yeah.
I think isn't this one like the season finale?
Yes.
Episode 10 is the last episode. So
Yeah.
what
So
episode are you at?
7.
Lady Gunner, close your ears because I got to get this.
No.
on.
I want
No.
to hear too.
Fam. No.
I'm not holding back. I'm not holding back.
That's fine
Like,
because I'm gonna watch
no.
it. I'll be shocked anyway.
Okay.
Because episodes 8, 9, and 10 are literally like a 3-part. It's like one big ass episode. So it's like,
Go ahead.
Cook. Well,
This nigga.
Cook
Cook.
Dad Pack.
Go ahead and cook.
That's not CEO Pennyworth. That's Dad Pack. Go ahead, Cook.
Come on. Come on, CEO. I want to hear.
X-Men 97 does not deserve CEO Pennyworth. You need Dad
No.
Pack.
yes. You're right. You're right. Let me.
Because they delivered.
They delivered. They
Mm.
delivered. It was hot and ready. It was the cheese was melted. The sauce was saucing. The pepperonis was crispy on the edge, soft in the center, with that little puddle of grease on the inside. You know, like when I tell you that X-Men 97 delivered, like they opened you know how they got the little bag for the pizza? They opened that bitch and steam came out. That's how.
The background.
That's how they came with this.
They came
like.
hard. Oh, did he?
Now, first of all, got to give a shout out to my boy Demigod Sean. He is. I would say he's with us in spirit, but he in New Orleans about to do some New Orleans things. Okay,
he's going to work. He's working. He is going to work. Everyone, Demigod Sean is working.
Right. He's going down there to do some dirty things.
He's going there to do his 9 to 5.
While working.
On my guy.
I'll put it on him. He's a dirty bastard. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, I sat in Discord and listened to Sean watch that last episode. And I cannot make this up. After that episode was over, this dude sat here and just went, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God." Like in every decibel level and every octave level you could ever imagine. And he did that shit, no exaggeration, for like 7 to 10 minutes straight. And yeah, like when you talk about the cameos that we got, you talk about the ramifications for what this could mean for next season. When you talk about, I mean, what this meant for this season. When you talk about what this could mean, essentially, possibly for the MCU, what this could mean, shit, for X-Men media as a whole, X-Men 97, like, really, they really just hit it out of the park. There's really no other way to put it. I feel like the overall arching thing here is, I feel like Bo DeMeo, or however you pronounce his name, and his team sat down, they watched the Fox X-Men movies, and was like, what did they do wrong? And that is completely and totally what they built this whole series around, is like really readjusting what people have thought about the X-Men due to how shitty some of the aspects of the X-Men were in those movies. I'll say it once. I said it 2 times. I'll say it again. The only 2 things I feel like those X-Men movies got right about the X-Men, honestly, is the dynamic between Magneto and Charles
Mhm.
and Magneto. Everything else about those movies was wrong. So I stand here today as a happy X-Men fan. I can't say anything bad about this show. Except for I want more. Is that really a bad thing though?
Of course not.
Charlie, help me out. Say something that this show did bad.
Pacing. That has been the main issue I had with the show. It got significantly better as the show went on.
Mhm.
But I know for me in particular, early on in the show, it suffered from pacing issues as far as them kind of like hyper speeding through larger events
Mhm.
and not really showing how events were affecting certain characters, which they did better near the end of the series. I think the series would do better in the season 2 if they got longer episodes. If the episodes were like an hour, I think it would be a lot better personally, just for the fact you have more time to do more. So you look, like to your point, when you look at the heart of the X-Men and when they were at their best during the Chris Claremont run, it was during that soap opera era where Claremont spent like 20 issues going through the issues that each individual X-Men was having after the fallout of the last event. And then he built into the next big thing, whether that was Apocalypse War, whatever it was. He had time in between. And because we were kind of just like jumping through stuff from big thing to big thing in this series, the pacing was slightly off of me. Again,
Mhm.
the show's still amazing. It's still amazing. That would be pacing is probably the only thing I can think of as far as a
Right.
negative with this show. Outside of that, to your point, if I just have more of it in an episode, I'm cool.
Yeah. So, like, I agree with you 100% on the pacing, and that is absolutely something I noticed as well. The only reason I don't say that that is something wrong with the show is because when this came about, they had a budget, and
Right.
Disney's like, hey, this is what you have, go make it work. And
Mhm.
they, they had to squeeze that into 10-minute episodes. They had to fit it within that budget, and they had to make the best and most cohesive story that they could tell within those 10 episodes. So I agree with you, but at the same time, I do understand that that wasn't necessarily their fault. That was just the realm of what they had, the sandbox that they had to play within. But I
To
am
that point,
curious to
though,
see.
if this is the floor, this is where they start. Oh god, they got all the room for future seasons to go fucking crazy.
Yeah,
This is the floor.
but it does concern me, and of course, shout out to my boy Ray Clark, and of course T Will as well. Y'all always hear King Oops in there as well. He say Anthony Edwards bandwagon growing in seconds. Yeah, we're not on hooping no more, but absolutely shout out to King Oops. Going crazy over there with the hip hop content, some gaming content, everything in between. So go check dude out. But like my thing is like with Bo is he came out. Obviously, most of us here knows that he got fired. Still don't know why he got fired. Some people think it's because he's been doing some freaky things. He might be the 69 guy. He might not be. I don't know. But regardless, some people said that he was hard to work with. Again, we don't know. But what I do know is dude got fired. He was very quiet for a while. About mid-season, he started coming out and giving some explanation and background and homework to fans about, hey, go watch this episode. Go read this comic. It'll help you to understand episode 6 better, 7 better, so on and so forth, which I think is really dope. But he did come out and say that he did write season 2. But as anyone knows, like when you work any type of production, writing it is only kind of the beginning. There's going to be rewrites. There's going to be, people that, from higher ups, executive levels that look at the script and say, hey, let's rework this to work it into this product or to work it into this event that we're working on, especially with like Marvel stuff these days. So the basis of what he did is going to be in season 2, but he's not going to be there for animation direction or voice acting direction or the rewrites that come because they need to be rewritten to fit into a certain narrative that Marvel wants to tell over the entire arc of Marvel properties today. So, obviously he had a team, so it's not just Bo alone.
Right.
But it is possible, like you said, that we've got, all of this to grow. We absolutely do. I am a little concerned that maybe it this kind of stifles the growth a bit, but maybe not. I mean, we'll see. Maybe season 2 is great, and then season 3 is terrible. Maybe they bring Bo back, or I don't know. I just hope that we're not disappointed and that we can move forward and continue to have this grow, because like X-Men has been down in the dumps for too long, man. Too long. Perry, where you at with all this, man?
I'm in an emotional roller coaster. I've been on a high since I seen Magneto go up to the top of the planet and said enough and shut the world down. That's where I've been. That's where I've been as a whole. I cannot express how much how I feel. It has been this last episode. I was on a high where I like how Charles and Magneto had that moment when Charles broke him down and woke him up. I'm like, hey, bro, you tweaking. Fix this shit. But that wasn't like the moment of like hypeness. I never liked Cyclops growing up. Never was a fan. Never was a fan. Never was a fan. I was a Wolverine stain. Tough. And then Ryan Reynolds happened, and I've been a Deadpool fan since then.
So wait, well, I guess it would make sense why you were a Cyclops fan, because like I kind of grew up and got the X-Men shows and kind of known him as like a hard as nails like leader, kind of a Boy Scout. But I also seen how much of a badass he could be with, you know, those Capcom produced Marvel games, like Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men, Children of the Atom, so on and so forth. So like you didn't really get that because I mean you're a little younger, so like
I didn't get the I got the Boy
that
Scout version. I got the Boy Scout, but this Cyclops, this nigga here, this version, oh, he can pull it to the barbecue. Lay it on me. They should have let him say what he wanted. I won't let you hurt my family anymore. It's like, nah, you fucking with the wrong one, Playboy. Ah! I'm like, yeah, man, Playboy.
If that shit came out of his mouth, I would have died.
That was the greatest show of all time. Greatest show of all time.
I mean, it was just the fact, like all of the like the Marvel versus Capcom Easter eggs that were like in this show, like even the way before he did like that huge optic blast, he like forms an X with his hands passively, which is, you know, something that happens with all the X-Men characters as they do their super arts in those fighting game series. And then he just blasted out. I'm just like, he did it. Behold. My wife's looking at me like, behold what? I'm like, you don't understand. But I know somewhere out there, like anybody who is anyone who enjoys fighting game and fighting game history, shout out to my boy Mason, because I know he saw that, probably hit like a backflip at like 3:37 a.m. because I know he watches the first thing in the morning. But it's like there's something to say about it when you can watch these kind of shows and movies even and tell that fans made these shows. Like, oh gosh, I just like, if this show had a face, I would kiss it. That's where I am.
This man said, if it had a face, I would kiss it.
If the face was a man, I would still kiss it. Like, I don't care if this show had a face, I would kiss it.
It has the face of Troy Baker.
I would make out with that face.
It's the attention to detail. Because even going into like, again, I think I was speculating with some of the guys from then and now where like for the second season, it seems like this season they were setting up Wolverine shit for next season. Because if you're watching throughout this season, they're subtly showing the Silver Samurai, Omega Red, and like some of Wolverine's past. And then you got the Animanium snatch, which in the comics, you know, that's when he gets the Animanium snatch is when he realizes, oh, I have bone claws, so I'm going to go back through my past now and figure shit out. They're just like everything they do. There's like no wasted scenes and no wasted moments in this series. Because to your point, like they didn't have a large budget, so they couldn't afford to waste anything on this series.
Right.
Everything was methodically placed and methodically planned, from dialogue to animation. Everything was very well done. I'm surprised the animation was as well choreographed as it was with the budget they had. because
that
was
final
some,
episode was crazy with the animation.
I think this.
I mean, that and the
works.
first 2 episodes and the last 3 episodes had crazy animation value, man.
Which one? The Wolverine and Nightcrawler fight, was that one of the last 3, or was that the?
I
I can't remember what episode that was.
I think that was episode 8.
That shit. Boy,
Yeah,
that was,
because episode 8 is when they stormed the school, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so I think that was that one. 8, maybe 9, but yeah, but that's whew, like the way he just warped, like you could see the warp through the teleport, like through the guys of Wolverine was just crazy.
It was.
It
was a lot of good things. I think,
man,
I got to shout out to Rogue keeping that shit on site, just there. Like that was. Like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker regardless. I don't care what y'all niggas say. Fuck him. Like, I don't care what standards y'all have as X-Men. He said, I can say what I want, right? As long as I don't cuss, right?
Right.
We sick of him right there. We tired of that nigga right there. Him. We sick of that nigga there. I was like, yeah. Yes, and I like the showing of Phoenix in there too. I was just like, Nightmare.
That was a nice touch.
Nightcrawler.
I ain't gonna lie, if it's a little ass pulling, I was like, okay, she had
that's where I'm at.
Like, residual Phoenix Force energy, nigga. Last minute, I don't know.
Every cartoon has it. Every cartoon has an ass pull.
Yeah,
so they had their moment.
And my thing is like not just this show, but X-Men history, like in general, has that whole like. Jean Grey will just like have an ass pull of like the Phoenix Force out of nowhere. Like it has always happened. Like always. So I wasn't really like the biggest fan of it, but at the same time, like who's ever gonna get mad in a awesome X-Men show where we get a awesome display of the Phoenix? Like it was absolutely ass pully. And could we have done without it? Absolutely. But at the same time, it was a cool sighting, despite the fact that it was absolute plot armor.
Yeah, and it was a lot of good things. I think my favorite moment of the series as well. Nightcrawler probably had my favorite moment.
Yeah,
like overall, like fight scene
over Gambit.
Okay, so Gambit was a real nigga moment where I'm like, oh, he's solid. Nightcrawler just whooping ass, teleporting like that was just phenomenal. Magneto had the I'm him moment where I'm like, okay, he's him. I just like how they didn't hold back of showing the capability of the X-Men on how threatening they really can be if you piss them off far enough. Like to see Magneto shut down the entire planet power with the stating of enough. Firework.
But we knew Magneto was that nigga from the second episode when he said it, and I keep saying it. Please don't make me let you down. Please don't make me let you down. He said that it wasn't no animation, it wasn't no bells and whistles. He said that straight, stern, solid. Please don't make me let you down. Man. He gave them the warning.
It was a lot of
my top 1 quotes in that show. But Gambit's quote was number 1. The name's Gambit, mon ami. No,
you emotional. Yeah, that was an emotional moment. Like Gambit having that moment. I shed a tear. I ain't gonna lie. Gambit doing that, I was like, that's.
So, did you kind of catch the implications for like Jean Grey, Scott, and Cable? Coming to the end of that, where it low key kind of implicates us, like, you know, there's that scene with Cable where he's like talking to them and he's like, man, I've always been so bitter about the X-Men because the people that raised me always had all of these crazy stories about the X-Men, and I always felt some type of way like I should have been there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the end of the episode, we see Scott, and because now we know, like, essentially it's been Groundhog's Day for Cable. He's tried to do this. What happened in this episode?
200 times?
He's tried for 200 times, you know? So he's been living these moments over and over and over and over and over for, I would assume, years. So the fact that now at the end of this, we see that Scott and Jean are stuck in time. Ultimately, in the settlement that raises Cable, it implicates that the people that raised him, that had all these crazy detailed stories about the X-Men, was actually his parents. So it's kind of a cool thing, the way that they set that up, is that that his parents actually raised him without him realizing it, because they were in the comics, like, this does happen and they actually go by an alias, so he doesn't realize that it's actually Scott and Jean. So like there's like a lot of cool shit that they've really put in play that pays homage to the comics, but also really kind of sets up some interesting character moments for what we could see within the next season or two.
I'm excited. That last episode, I'm like, oh, we getting Apocalypse.
Yeah.
We got a threat. We got a big threat.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second?
Of
'Cause
course.
there are a lot of unhinged Negroes on the internet that are very mad that this person is pale. And I almost have Anuman Ra, but I know that's not his name. I can't remember his Egyptian name for shit right now. Even though they literally just like page for page copying it from the comics where he looks the exact same. And even then, why are y'all stressing about the skin color of a nigga who's eventually going to be gray? Like, his skin's gray. He has no white, Eurocentric, or black. Like, he has no ethnic or white features at all. He's like an alien-looking person.
Oh, because it's the same people who are upset that Yasuke is in Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, bro.
They're
Jesus
just
Christ.
people are just mad to be mad because they have nothing else to do. They have nothing better
Yeah.
to do.
Like, can I just ask real quick though, like while we on the about what's up with people, where is the So Brave crowd and the anti-woke crowd that was bashing X-Men 97 everywhere on the internet? Have you? They're
doing this
quiet.
right now. They're doing this right now.
Yeah, like
Ew.
that's what these look. These niggas is as quiet as the people that said that COVID was what did they say? COVID was from 5G. Like,
I will
these
never
niggas is
allow
in the
you
same camp.
niggas to live that down. Ever. Ever
Yeah.
in the entire world. Ever. Y'all said that.
I'll never forget my dad called me during COVID. It was like, yeah, man, they talking about this the 5G, son. I don't know, man. It's just real crazy. I had to stop him mid-sentence. I said, yo, Pops. He was like, what's up? I was like, think about what you're saying. Radiation poisoning is not contagious. And he stopped and thought about it for 2 seconds and said, damn, I guess these niggas on the internet is dumb.
As fuck. I had to stop.
Yeah.
I had to stop my dad and be like, son, I don't think black people can get this. I'm like, we're going to stop there right now. Right now.
Bro, I forget who the basketball player was, but I never forget when that headline came out.
Cleveland. I am not letting you niggas live these moments down.
Bro, when that nigga got that shit and it hit the news, every black person in every room just stopped and looked at each other like, oh shit, go wash your hands, bro.
That part.
We not safe.
Quick tangent. I was one of the very first people who actually knew what was going on with COVID because of the warehouse I was managing. We were getting shipments from that particular area. I ended up getting sick for a week and a half. I couldn't talk or cough regularly for half a year. That shit's real. And shout out to my wife for thinking it was just a common cold. I damn near died.
Yeah.
But no, man, it was a lot of good things going on with X-Men. I think they did what Invincibles did season 1. They capitalized on what the budget they had and captivated so much attention and kept the people talking. That is phenomenal work. To me, I think it's the route of this is directly from the comic books. If you want this, go grab a comic. Support the artists in the storylines that you guys want to see more, because it was, to me, I had a phenomenal time. You're never going to not have Perry not play your intro.
Yeah, and it was so genius that in every episode there were different panels that you had to go through to find little Easter eggs and shit. Like, again, a show made by fans for fans. Love that shit. Something I do want to highlight here. I gotta look at the camera. I'm looking at you, Netflix. Okay, I need you to notice something here, Netflix, because Netflix, I'm going to keep saying your name, Netflix, because there's another show that nerd culture rides with Netflix, and everyone loves it. Like, nerd culture rides with X-Men, and everyone loves it now because Disney did what they needed to do. You have a show that nerd culture fucks with, but because it's so damn good, people outside of the nerd sphere fuck with it. I'm talking about Stranger Things, okay? This is how you control a conversation and you control a slice of a year. Do not, I repeat, do fucking not release every episode at one time. Don't release 6 episodes and then say, hey, we'll give you another 6 episodes in 3 weeks. Don't do that shit. Drop them shits one at a time. Because what this does is we talk about it. Everyone watches it together. We all emote together. We all react together. Then we all have to sit on our hands and wait for the next episode. And when you have 10 episodes, 15 episodes, right?
Belt on. You talking?
Okay.
Talking in there. Put the belt on.
Okay. Like I said, when you have 10 episodes, 15 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens is, okay, there are what, 42 weeks in a year, right? Am I right? 42? Okay, so check this out. If you have 42 weeks in a year, maybe 52 or 42, some shit. Regardless. 52, there we go. So let's say you have 15 weeks in a year. 15 episodes. That means if you drop one every week, that means that you have people coming back to your platform every week for 15 weeks. That's almost 1/4 of the year you, Netflix, could control the zeitgeist. You know, I'm gonna say that again. If you drop 1 episode a week, that means that you, Netflix, controls the zeitgeist for 1/4 of the year. That means people aren't going to just subscribe and cancel. The reason why House of the Dragons feels like such a big deal, we got to come back every week.
And that shit's fire. It's fire.
It's fire.
Yeah,
We
it's
still
way
gotta
more.
come back every week. The reason that we went crazy for The Last of Us, it was fire. We had to come back every week. The reason we feel the way we do about X-Men 97, because it was fire. We had to come back every week. Do not give us fire and make us eat it at one time, because we are gluttons for pain and punishment, and we don't want to watch these little kids that we grew up with die and fight and all that shit in between. But don't do that. Drag the shit out. It is a better experience for the viewers and it's more money for y'all. Stop being dumbasses.
Let me drop my quick 16 because these niggas at Netflix just acquired one of my favorite properties, mangas. The rights to Netflix.
Go ahead. I knew this was coming.
Got Sakamoto Day. Everyone on this fucking panel knows how I feel about that goddamn manga. Do justice for Sakamoto Days. Because there has not been a week where this manga did not hit. Every week, this shit is gas. And right now, they have the old man putting niggas on t-shirts. And I love it. So if you fuck this up, I'm going to riot. I'm going to riot so hard that you're going to want to change your name to fucking Blockbuster after I get done with you.
Blockbuster is sick.
So, are you going to go back to mailing people fucking discs? Don't play with me, Netflix. I mean this. Do what's right. But as we progress throughout the podcast, because we're about to let CEO do his thing, I want to see how everyone feels about this because it popped in my mind. How y'all feel about Cable Plus? I mean, all these subscriptions coming together for package deals.
Go ahead and give me that Disney Plus bundle. Give me, like, you telling me I can get Hulu. Yeah, you tell me I can get Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus, and what Discover all in one package? Bring it here.
Cable Plus. That's what it is.
You
It's
just
free.
playing, this is just cable again, I guess.
Yeah,
Crazy.
just bring it here. But this is what we need, because ultimately, once this happens, the issue right now is subscription services have succeeded the price of cable. But in bundling them shits together like that, if you want to say, all right, right now I'm paying what I think like $18 for Hulu, Netflix, and Disney commercial free. So you're gonna add in HBO and you're gonna make that $30. I'll take it.
I take it too.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like HBO right now, if you want the 4K commercial free, it's like $18 a month. So like if you gonna give me $25, $30, and I can have that because that's what I need anyway. Like, and then I think Netflix is on the side. Who's Netflix talking about bundling with?
Give me a second.
I think was it Paramount, or I forget who it was.
I think so.
I got you. Bundle package. Apple TV, Peacock.
Yeah, I mean, and then like Peacock is $5 a month. Like
Peacock is the platform that's going to get the Summer Olympics, and you think I'm not about to watch Sha'Carri Richardson versus Jamaica? Shut the fuck up and take my money.
Versus Jamaica.
Oh, hey, can we also put the 5G COVID niggas in there with the naysayers of her?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like,
and
y'all been quiet too.
But hold on. I want people to understand my statuses when I was talking about Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm a fan of track and field. The moment she was coming up and demolishing the league and she got caught, I was hurt as a fan, because you was going to face Jamaica at some of their peak, because one of their runners is about to retire. This is her last year. Sha'Carri Richardson, you was about to take on the world, and you're still going to do that, but I think it's going to be, you're going to dominate this one too. I think past 4 years ago, I thought it was going to be real close, because girl, you came through busting ass, and I can't wait for you to kick more ass. But right now, the women run the world. I love it. This year, they're going to run it again. The Black women of America are going to run the Olympics, and in the most entertaining sports aspects. People are not watching the distance run. Niggas watch the 4x1, the 100, 200 hurdles, and the 400 meter dash.
Distance run. What is that?
Exactly. And then
talking about like cross country.
Exactly. What mile run?
Nobody want to watch that shit
at all. I'm telling you, Nick. People pull. I promise you, no one is going to watch. Who was it? Who's a trash? Charlie, give me. No one's going to watch the Wizards versus what's another trash basketball team? No one's going to watch.
Bobcats.
No one's going to watch that. Niggas is going to pull up with Kobe versus LeBron, Miami LeBron versus Kobe in 2011. Niggas is going to pull up for that. The puppet LeBron James and Kobe. LeBron James and Kobe. They're going to pull up to that. That's the 4x1 for the sprinting events. Niggas is pulling up.
like literally the way that this goes is like the NBA All-Star game. Like, everybody pulls up for the first half of the game because everybody's dicking around, they're lobbing up, doing all these stupid dunks and alley-oops. It's like NBA Street in real life. And then usually by the second half, people tune out. That's the difference between like when you talk about the relays, the sprint races, the hurdles versus long distance running.
Oh, nigga, I cannot, bro.
Like, we there for the shenanigans. We don't want that other shit.
For the shenanigans. I'm looking forward to it. My daughter's Livy's a huge gymnastics person, so Biles, I cannot wait to see her put in work.
Crazy.
Oh, crazy work. And I remember we first was on the res and Livy watched it. She's doing cartwheels and doing everything she was doing. So again, shout out to the women of the world of the United States are about to do work. I'm really excited for this year. But back to the main thing at hand, little small tidbits. Square Enix is talking about going to all platforms, which
is funny to me.
It's hilarious. We can dive deep into that if you want to, but also I think it's hilarious. Final Fantasy 14 online is on Xbox, and Xbox marketing team is doing everything they possibly can to get people to play that by doing the Mountain Dew partnership with that. It's quite hilarious.
Mountain Dew partnership with Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, bro, so if you buy anything like Mountain Dew wise, they have codes where you can get certain mounts, outfits, and colors. So
it's only on Xbox.
Yeah, it's only promotion on Xbox. Yes.
I mean,
When was the last time
Mountain
Mountain Dew partnering with the game was actually successful? Like COD?
Call of Duty? Yeah,
Yeah.
Call of Duty. I mean, always partners with Mountain Dew and Doritos. They did have a partnership with Titanfall 2, I remember. But we know EA pretty much took Titanfall 2 out into the pastures and shot it in the back of the head.
Remember when they did that shit for the Dark Knight? When the Dark Knight came out, they had that special Mountain Dew flavor.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Nasty as hell.
Yeah, it was weird.
And then one little bit news: NCAA football's coming out. I am holding a league with a couple of my homies from high school. Shout out to my boy Jalen, his podcast team, my boy Aaron, Nigel. I'm gonna reach out to them. We're gonna set everything up so we have fun. Just know I'm playing Roll Tide, Nick Saban. When I have Devontae, I also got my boy Jalen. Just know I'm going for everything. So and that means if I got Jalen, that means I got 2 on the back. I got Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying? Just light work. You know what I'm saying?
You said Mac Jones. I thought you said Mike Jones. I was like,
you know what I'm saying? If we can build out our teams that played it on Alabama, I got Devontae, but I got Julio. You know what I'm saying? Julio right there. He ain't do too much. You know what I mean? He ain't a threat out there. You feel what I'm saying? But y'all heard that? Y'all hear that noise? Y'all hear that? Oh damn! See, the boss just walked in. Oh shit! Bosses came in. Everyone straight up. Get back to work.
Xbox.
Everyone get back to work.
Xbox. Microsoft. Okay. Y'all, I got an axe to grind and a tree to chop down today, all right? Let me bring you back to 2023. We got a game called Hi-Fi Rush. On my top 10 games for 2023. Received great. You know, critically it reviewed as high as Halo Infinite. The only games that had higher critic ratings in this game were Forza Motorsport and Flight Simulator. This was a first-party Xbox exclusive. If you guys have been rocking with us for a very long time, y'all know one thing. We have always said that Xbox has an issue managing studios, and this is why we don't get first-party exclusives as often as we should, right? This game fosters 4 million, 5 million players across Xbox Game Pass and Steam. They publicize it everywhere. Runaway. It's a hit. Hi-Fi Rush is the greatest thing to come out of Xbox in quite some time. We're so proud of Tango Gameworks. This is the same studio that came out with the game that I gave a 7 out of 10, Ghostwire Tokyo. Solid game. Not particularly my cup of tea, but it was a solid game. Very unique in its art style and its format. Then we got Arcane. And Arcane has 2 studios we're talking about. And I think it's and one of y'all might have to correct me on this. I think Arcane Texas or some shit like that. Now, in particular, this is the team that gave us fucking classics. Fucking classics. Games like what was that? Shit. It just was on the tip of my head. Dishonored. Games like Dishonored 2, like fucking I think they even made Thief. I know they made Prey. All of these were solid games that had okay sales numbers. But they did have a slip up. They had Redfall. And Redfall, if you ever looked into Redfall, yes, was Redfall a failure? Absolutely. But if you ever looked beyond it being a failure, there were people that worked on that game that said that they knew this game was not going to work. They were forced into making a game that they did not want to make. And they, at several occasions, hoped that the game would get canceled. And when Xbox brought the game, brought Bethesda as a whole, apparently these devs celebrated because they knew that this game was going to get canceled because it wasn't going to work and they weren't proud of the product. But good guy Xbox came in with Phil Spencer at the helm of things and said, hey, we're not about taking games away from people, right? That's what he said. We want games to be everywhere they can be, right?
Right.
And then he came in, and what did this fuckhead do, right? This fuckhead went and canceled the PlayStation 5 versions of Starfield and Redfall. Do I care? No, because neither one of those games ended up being my cup of tea. But that's what he said, right? So now that we kind of have a background of these studios and then two other support studios that came along with Tango Works and Arcane, Xbox this past week shut them down. And this is what grinds my fucking gears. When you have Phil Spencer at the front of things saying, hey, we're all about the creativity of these people and we want them to make the best games they can make. You shut down a studio, right? That brought you critical acclaim, that brought players, like put asses on the couch to play your game with Hi-Fi Rush, and went to the Game Awards and won awards. I couldn't tell you the last time Xbox has won a meaningful game award. Like, they just haven't. You know what I'm saying? So when you shut these studios down, right? That fucking hurts. It sucks. It fucking sucks. There's no way around it. Xbox, Microsoft, you fumbled the fucking bag. But what makes shit worse, and this is why CEO Gregory Pennyworth is here to fucking day, right? You shut down these studios, and then Matt Booty, who is like the head of like entertainment division over at Xbox or some shit, or at Microsoft rather, or some shit like that, comes out and makes a fucking statement that slaps one of the best developers that you had that you just shut down in the face, and makes a statement saying, hey, here at Xbox, what we need are smaller games that are critically acclaimed that will bring awards into the Microsoft and Xbox family of gaming. That is the statement that you make after you just shut down a studio that literally did that. What's even worse is the fact that before y'all shut them down, y'all took their resources to port the fucking game over to PlayStation, over Nintendo Switch, and then you shut them down. Talk about milking every last fucking penny you can out of somebody and then shutting them down. And then your excuse is, oh, well, it's to keep the business stable. But do you know what keeps businesses stable? When you're able to factor in, hey, these are developing studios with people that are learning skills. And if we keep them around today, they are going to be juggernauts in 5 years, 10 years. When you are Microsoft and you have the benefit of losing $1 billion, $2 billion in a year and still being one of the richest fucking companies in the world, I got a problem with that, dog. Like, hundreds of fucking people between four studios that made respectable games. You know what I'm saying? Like, 4 studios got shut down, and this is what bothers me is when they bought Activision, it was, oh yeah, you guys don't have anything to worry about. Microsoft has so much money. We just want everybody to create what they want to create, and we're going to foster an environment of creativity because we're okay here. We got enough money. But then you shut down 4 studios, with 2 of them being one of your best studios on the rise, and one of them that has made legendary games over the last 15 years. You shut them down, and the excuse is, oh, because we need to keep the business healthy. What happens to all this fucking money? Especially when we've heard rumors like in the Wii U era, people, the executives over at Nintendo took fucking pay cuts to make sure that they could pay their employees. You think if Joe Schmo in the fucking office at Microsoft has a bonus of $20 million a year, and this year he cuts it down to 10 million, you don't think 10 million is gonna pay fucking the fucking annual cost of 10, 15 people at some of these studios? Like, we gotta be fucking real here, man. Like, this is like the highest level of bullshit that we could ever eat when it comes to like the gaming industry, because like this is my next biggest fear. Hellblade comes out in less than a week. Hellblade 2 comes out in less than a week, y'all. And this is what grinds my gears. Ninja
21st.
Theory has always been one of my favorite studios. Like, they dropped Hellblade for PS3. I was like, oh damn, they kind of dope. And then they kind of did a couple other little things in between. I'm like, man, this is kind of like, I kind of fuck with them. The first Hellblade came out, I'm like, all right, yeah, they are in their stride. I fuck with them. It was a PlayStation exclusive. That don't even matter to me. I said I fuck with them. Xbox bought Ninja Theory. I was freaking out. A lot of niggas wasn't really hip to it, whatever, because they didn't really know what I knew. I bought an Xbox specifically. I went Christmas, they were on sale. I'm like, hey, I'm playing Hellblade. I need an Xbox. Talked to my wife. It was in the budget. Merry Christmas, hubby. Here you go. Mace, what up? When Microsoft first introduced us to Hellblade was in 2019. It was the Game Awards of 2019. It was the first next generation game revealed for the Xbox. This game coming out almost 5 years later. We already had that discussion. That's fucking bonkers. Okay, whatever. But this is my thing. This game went from being marketed as the biggest thing for Xbox. Y'all had these Xbots believing that this game was going to be something on the level of the epic level of God of War. Oh yeah, this is going to be the next best thing. This is going to be the homecoming of Xbox. We hear. Then over the last couple months, we get all this weird shit. Hey, this is only a digital game. Hey, this game is going to be about the same length as the last game. Hey, this game isn't even running in the full 1080p. It's running in 720 to 1080p dynamic resolution. But our rendering skills make it look like it's still in 4K, so that's okay. We eat all that shit. Hey, by the way, here we are. This is only going to be 30 frames per second. We're still like, all right, just give us the game. Hey, by the way, if you aren't playing this on a widescreen TV, you're going to have black bars on the bottom and on the top of your TV because it's the artistic view of the creators. First of all, you talk about artistic views of the creators. Don't fucking piss on me and try to convince me that it's rain, because this is my issue. As someone who vehemently believes that video games are art, I am with it when you say that something is a creative decision, an artistic decision, right? So if the game is going to run at a dynamic 1080p in 30 frames or 4K at 30 frames, if your system or your PC can handle it, I'm fine with that. But again, don't piss on me and then try to convince me it's rain, because this is my issue. If it was artistic decision, Microsoft, right? Like, are you here? If it was an artistic decision, right? You fucktards, you ass clowns, y'all wouldn't sit here and put the game on PC, and on PC now, oh yeah, well, you can play on whatever frame rate you want on PC, because guess what? If it was an artistic decision, it would be the same across the board. The Xbox cannot handle 60 frames on this game. Just fucking say it. It's the same thing with fucking with Star Citizen or whatever the fuck the game was called, Starfield. There we are. It's the same thing there. Like, if it can't handle it, it can't handle it. It's not our fault you marketed this console as the strongest console ever. Maybe you should have optimized your shit better. Maybe you need to have a fucking conversation with your research and development team. But don't sit here and fucking lie to us. Don't sit here and lie to us about, oh, we're here for the gamers and we're here for creativity, and they're throwing these people out the window. Don't sit here and lie to us and tell us again, oh, well, yeah, we need games that are going to be smaller in size and they're going to bring us critical acclaim and awards, and then shut down the first of your studios that brings that to you. Don't do that.
And I
because
think, go ahead. Yeah, finish.
Yeah, because here we are now. Hellblade is on its way out. You just shut down 4 studios, 2 of them which are potentially 2 of the best that you have available. Hellblade is coming out in a week. And you know what I've done? I've told the homies about this. I ran an experiment. We all know if I say, damn, I need some Nike shoes, right? I got a Google Assistant. I got an Echo in here. I got smartphones. If I say I need Nike shoes, like I'm saying right now, one of those microphones is going to pick it up. Next time I get on YouTube, I get on Facebook, I get on Instagram, guess what I'm going to see a commercial for?
Nike.
I have Google searched almost every day Hellblade, Game Pass, Xbox, Hellblade 2, Hellblade 2 research, release date, all of this. Guess how many times I've seen commercials for this game?
Not at all.
I've seen 1 commercial. 1. So now this is to me where, again, you guys built this up to be the second coming of Xbox, and then over time y'all start kind of shitting on this game, right? This tells me that Ninja Theory, which is one of my favorite studios in gaming right now, is also on the chopping block, because not only did y'all shut these studios down, but you guys also implied after these studios were shut down that there could be more layoffs to come. So Xbox, you make me fucking sick right now, dog. Phil Spencer needs to fucking get out of here. You guys can no longer like pose as we're the good guys in gaming. We're doing this for consumers. Like, it's a fucking joke at this point. Like, let's just
take a breather. Because you've been on a tangent.
Breathe past it.
Let them breathe. Let me interrupt.
Yes.
Because I watched a couple kind of funny, probably did their thing when they was talking about Xbox. And the Phil Spencer experiment is not working. He tried to make certain things happen, and they have yet happened. Why it's not working, I don't know. I'm very disappointed on closing down a studio that brought y'all critically acclaim and a dub for your console, in the sense of people are now talking about it. I am disappointed in the fact that, how can I say, creativity is not the focus point for a lot of these studios, where they are being forced to create what the publisher wants. I am disappointed in that big money is going to these huge games that need all this budget, instead of smaller games that can build up to the big game that we kind of went away from, like these AA's, where it's like, oh, this is about a good 15-hour game. It's limited, but it's fun. I am hurt that, well, I'm laughing. Let me say this. I'm laughing for the fan people of Xbox that have been in completely silence of the closing of these studios, but are very vocal when Sony does something like this. We are in a strange place in the gaming industry where you are scaring away people who want to make this a career, a living of developing, making games for people to enjoy, and you're closing down things that are creative in their eyes. Like, this was great, this was creative, this was awesome. Why are you shutting this studio down when they won awards because of a budget? Now, I think that purchasing Bethesda was a mistake. It was not a good money move. It was a flex move to have someone in your back pocket say, yeah, Sony got them, well, we got them because of this purchase. You have to make that money up.
No.
To the point where money's not coming in fast enough or well enough where you're no longer going to be Xbox. You're going to be Microsoft Gaming. where
Mhm.
Microsoft will be maintaining your shit instead of Xbox. So there's a concern on all levels. Their address that was on Bloomberg, I believe, that happened a week ago, with I want to get her name correct, the head of Xbox now.
Yeah, I forget. Black woman. I forget her name at the moment.
I'm gonna Sarah Bond.
There we go. Mm-hmm. Miss Bond.
Yeah, Sarah Bond. Now, I want to be respectful to all black women because I don't want to be like, what's her name? So no, I know Phil Spencer. I need no Sarah Bond. So her address to Bloomberg, I believe, was not good. Young, broke it down to the point to a science when he was just like, this is an embarrassment. Nothing was truly addressed. Some of those hard questions that were thrown were kind of deflected and not really talked about. It was a kind of a rinse and repeat of you talking to the points that were talked about at your last address of what's going on with Xbox Studios, where you had Phil Spencer and the other guy talking about what's going on. So it's just, as someone that has all consoles outside of like Game Pass, because I do purchase most of my games when within budget. I've only played Persona 3 Reloaded on there just because it was not in budget, but I'm purchasing on my PlayStation because now it's in budget. I don't see the reason to have that console right now for what they're asking, and then you're creating a new piece of hardware where you're not putting things behind this hardware with no meat and potatoes. So I'm concerned, for sure. I'm praying that it grows. Because again, gaming is fun to me. This is my hobby. This is one of my favorite pastimes. If I'm not working, doing dad shit, or anything like that, I like to enjoy this. So since me and G actually, I mean, we stated our opinions on this, I want to know what Charlie and Lady Gunner feel about the state of Xbox and what they've done so far. Ladies first. Go Charlie. I'm playing. Go ahead, Lady Gunner.
That's tough.
No, Charlie could go. Charlie could go next. That's crazy.
From you looking at the outside in,
That man got caught a stray for real.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Be your own people.
Everyone gets
do.
I caught a lot of this stuff from outside looking in, as far from the perspective of somebody who's getting more intimate knowledge on how the inner workings of these studios work with gaming stuff. And an interesting thing that I'm noticing with certain studios like Xbox, with to certain extent stuff of smaller developer studios like a Ubisoft, it feels like people don't really care about gaming anymore. And you can tell that by seeing certain, like when certain indie titles come out. I think like a Remnant 2 is a perfect example, where games are made with a certain level of care. And if not just the game itself, the things surrounding the game, like microtransactions and things of that nature. We're at a certain point to where I feel like it's a tipping point for the industry, where gamers at some point are going to have to start being vocal with their dollars. Because to all the drama you guys spoke about, all this behavior is acceptable because people still go out and put money into these things that they just shovel out. The day when people take control over their dollar and financially don't support the thing that is causing them the most grief, and that's being half-assed as far as being pushed, being marketed, being supported, that is the day where there'd be a major change. As somebody that's an avid 2K player and has been for most of my life, like most black males, we've complained a lot about how that game's ran, how 2K Interactive treats their consumer when it comes to the microtransactions. And you're starting to see it in other games, like, to an extent, WWE 2K, anything with the 2K label on it.
Crazy.
The day a 2K game launches and niggas just don't buy it day one is the day that they'll go about not just doing random shit to make an extra dollar. I know very recently there was a court case that went on where a mother and her child took 2K to court over the microtransaction thing, where, because as you guys know, when you go from year to year, the microtransactions, as far as the VC you buy the year before, does not then carry over to the next year. So at that point, it's not virtual. So they were like taking the court over the technical language of saying virtual currency. Because if I'm paying for virtual currency, I should continue to have access to that currency year to year. So now 2K, but to be even more slimy, they're just changing the name of it. It's not going to be virtual currency anymore. It's going to be fucking like skill points again out of nowhere, just so they can get around that. And it should like that to where instead of doing right by your consumer, you proceed to do some more fuck shit to make more of a bottom dollar. That's been something I've just noticed over time. And if it's not stuff like that, as far as taking advantage of consumers, it's a toxicity within the development office itself. Stuff like Ubisoft having a lot of that, like sexual assault stuff that I heard going around, and how they were treating a lot of the women in their studios and whatnot. It's a lot of things. I think it's a matter of time. I think when you're getting indie studios that are making amazing games, although very limited, and what they can do because they don't have the same funding as these big corporations like Microsoft, I think at some point people are just going to start playing these indie games more. Certain games like 2K, where you have a huge IP like the NBA attached to it, is just inevitable. It's just going to do well to some extent because it's based around something that people just innately love, like the NBA. But for a lot of these other shits, y'all may be cooked soon, because I think a lot of gamers are starting to wake up, and a lot of this information is more accessible to the average common gamer now.
Yeah, I've been.
Hold on. Lady Gunner, speak your piece. Speak your piece.
I have no problems with Xbox. I've been telling everybody for years Xbox is kind of like.
No, I want to talk about them V-Bucks. I mean, not V-Bucks, but the 2K money you spending.
Oh, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that.
Because as soon as Charlie
VC merchant, huh?
Oh, as soon as Charlie brought that up, you should have seen her eyebrow was like, well, I mean, I'd spend $1 or $2.
I spent about $600 on 2K making characters. Not gonna lie. $50. Greg.
Is that over the course of the whole year?
Listen, domain expansion. It's like $50 a character to get your character from, because 60, you're gonna fight for your life. You're gonna struggle. 60, you are the worst. You're an NPC. You're a bot. You have no skills as a 60. Like, you suck. So $50 to level up my character to the basic 85. Once you have a basic 85, you have to grind your badges. But me, I play with some incompetent people sometimes. So sometimes I have to make other characters to fill in position. $50 a character, that's 5 positions. And I might mess up a character or two. So, that's another delete, restart over type stuff. Because they come up with updates, patches, like what you made when the game first dropped might not be significant 6 months. Greg, might not be significant 6 months
You're
into the
dead
game.
To me. You are dead to me.
Listen.
She's most niggas though. That's the thing. That's crazy shit.
Speak my piece before you condemn me. Please look. I deleted the game, so it's over, done, dead, finished. We're not doing that no more.
No, Lady Gunner, talk to me. Talk. Look at me. What did we talk about this week? Did we downloaded 2K this week? Didn't we? And we deleted it again. Speak your truth. Let the world know. We are letting it go today, Lady Gunner.
Why are you trying to expose my dirty secrets?
I'm not. I want you to speak your truth so we can help you.
I downloaded it and I deleted it within 30 minutes. Okay.
There you go. How does it feel to get that off your chest, girl?
It felt nasty. I wasn't ready to expose that part yet.
It's
we
okay.
Talking about $600 already.
It's good.
So let's just speak on this real quick. On I looked it up. On average, 2K usually has around 2 million users. So we can say on like bare minimum, that's 2 million people that have at least purchased this game at bare minimum. That's not even accounting for people
at least one person has at least 2+ characters. You got
right. So
let me do
I feel like most people
ordered a $100 edition to get the game 4 days early.
On top of that,
I feel like most people like Lady Gunner, where they spend probably like, at least for me especially, we're probably spending like 300 to 600 over the course of the whole year making different players if you just like basketball like that. So that's 2 million, and let's just multiply that by 600 to see like how much money.
That's $72 because of tax. I'm doing the math already. 72 times 2 million is $144 million times 600.
And that's just off rip from them just buying the game and making characters. And that's not accounting for extra VC for animations, extra VC for bullshit like go-karts and jetpacks. And
so let me ask you a question, okay?
Don't want to talk about it.
Okay. I just want to ask you a question. Charlie, what's one of your favorite games?
All time?
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. Oh, good. All right, so check this out, right?
Mhm.
Lady Gunner, Charlie. Let's say you bought Mass Effect, right?
Mhm.
And as soon as you turn on Mass Effect, we know that Mass Effect, there are two things that are required for Mass Effect to be Mass Effect. One of them is social decisions. The other one is shooting that shit, right?
Mhm.
What if you turned on Mass Effect and they asked you a question? And you have to do the Mass Effect thing. You have to answer the question, right?
Mhm.
And when you go to answer the question, the game says you can't respond in a bold manner because you don't have enough points in bold. Please pay us $20 for more bold points.
It's like I'm still gonna play the game, but you're not finna get bold around here.
No, you can't say that because you already did it for 2K. You bought a game where you're supposed to be an NBA player, but the NBA player can't dunk or shoot
That is totally
or
different.
dribble.
On 2K,
It's
there's no social decision. If your team sucks, you might have to
no,
make
I mean,
sure to carry your team.
it's the same thing. Mass Effect's idea is social decisions in combat. NBA 2K's idea is you're an NBA player.
No, Mass Effect.
It's
I'm the main character of the story. NBA, you
yes.
have to depend on your team, and then you could just be.
Mhm.
Some people make characters with no defense at all. Like
It's
that's
okay.
not a Mass Effect decision right there. They wouldn't
But
do
it's
that.
the
Mass
main
Effect is not a
function of the
nasty
game.
game, so you can't
It's
compare them to 2K.
so no, what I'm not comparing the games. What I'm comparing is two
decisions.
games where you buy them for the main function. The main function of 2K is to be an NBA player. The main function of Mass Effect is to make social decisions and shoot shit. So if you bought a game and the main mechanic of the game is paywalled, what the fuck are you buying the game for?
I think the one thing you're not taking to when it comes to the common gamer is the aspect of being able to pick up and put down the game. I think the main allure to a game like 2K, Call of Duty, is the fact that men, let's say you work a regular 9 to 5 at a factory. You go in at 9, you get off at 5 to relax and like chill with the homies. You just want to get on the game for a couple hours and then go feed your family and go to sleep. So every day in their daily routine to relax, it's get on the game with my homies, get in the rec or get on the park for like 2-3 hours and then go. They're not thinking too much in regards to them getting scammed because they don't really care. They just want to play. Because on top of that, too, you're probably just playing 2K. You're in the party while you're talking about the actual NBA. That I think that's the benefit that a company like 2K Interactive has, is that they're preying on the common fan to where they don't. And the crazy shit is, the even crazier thing is, the community is also responsible for how bad the game has gotten.
Oh,
when you look at how these content creators around 2K historically have gone about promoting the game and the kind of content they make, it's all toxic in nature. It's all about breaking the game, the most broken moves. Everybody has the same build, and the meta is the meta. To Gunner's point about their people making builds with no defense, that's because Joe Knows dropped a Trae Young build that can shoot from half court but has no defense. So now everybody wants to do that thing. And again, to an extent, I think it's fine. It's like build creators. To an extent, I get it, because the whole allure of 2K and most games that are like RPG based like that is trying out the different builds and trying different ways to play the game. That's why I love it. I have like all my players are different. They play drastically different from one another, so I get that thrill. But to your point though, people are getting scammed. I think people just don't know it, and they're starting to know it now, because you start to see now with the last 2Ks. The games are falling off a lot sooner. People stop playing a lot sooner. Like once you get to like the All-Star break in the NBA is when people really are just like, okay, I'm over 2K now, because there's other games dropping that are dope, so they're gonna go play that. When Remnant 2 came out, niggas funneled off for 2K, and hella niggas were playing Remnant 2. Casual fans are playing the fuck out of Remnant 2.
Right. And to the extent of to the points of everyone being scammed, and circle back to Xbox as well, because we're getting close to time, it's just I wanted to say, it's on my mind. These CEOs, people who are departing, have a lot of major shares, correct? Do you know the Blizzard guy who's leaving? You know how much he's leaving with?
You talking about I'm thinking Activision. I don't know how much the Blizzard guy is leaving.
Take a wild guess. Everyone gets one guess. Take the wildest guess.
Wait. So I mean, actually, Activision Blizzard is like the same.
Yeah,
so
same
it's
thing.
Bobby Kotick you're referring to, right?
I believe so. Short, fat guy.
Yeah, he's leaving with a couple million in his pocket. I think it was like like 17 million or some shit. It was something crazy.
Greg 17, Lady Gunner.
24 million.
24 million, Lady Gunner. Charlie, throw a number out there.
I'm gonna say like 60 mil.
Charlie's the closest. $400 million.
Damn.
That's what Bobby Kotick is leaving with?
Because of the shares he owes. He's leaving with that much. Young calculated that for us. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to this leadership and greed. It is greed. It's not for the betterment of the gaming industry. It is about fucking greed. People who love video games will support their hobbies, and because we love that, we will spend the money for stuff we love. This is greed now, and I don't fuck with that. Y'all can go to hell, and y'all can kick rocks.
Hey, let me just make this clear real quick. It's not the developers.
At all.
The developers are making their games, and there are certain things they have to put into their games because the publishers require it. So you want to know why microtransactions are the way that they are? It's the publishers. You want to know why Xbox is closing down studios? It's because Xbox is the publisher and the owner. Like, it is the publishers and the corporate side of video games that is fucking games up right now.
What I just shared was the article of him leaving with $400 million.
Nuts. I don't even want to look at it. I'm gonna get pissed off.
I just want
400 M's is crazy for a severance package, my boy.
And this is Bobby Kotick, like one of the most toxic people in the video game industry. Like year ago, 2 years ago, it's been really quiet now because Xbox has been buying them out. But the reason Activision Blizzard has been in the news and been getting ripped up for the last 2 previous years up until the last 6 months has all been on his back, like with him, like with toxic masculinity and sexual harassment and down talking on employees. He's leaving with $400 million after he treated probably hundreds of people within that company like shit, like items. And he's just leaving with $400 million. So never have to work again.
And remember, we just closed down 3 studios. So
4.
I'm sorry, 4. I apologize. 4 studios. So I just want to put things in perspective. So people seem like we're not talking out of our ass.
So you mean to tell me that they cut off 400, they cut in the check for $400 million for this man while shutting down 4 studios, which probably between those 4 studios in the last 5 years have maybe spent $100 million.
About that. So
while also making money back.
If I'm thinking of the math correctly, I believe some of the studios was like 60 people. You're looking at 100, nothing over 120. So let's take the studio of 60. Average pay is like 100, let's say 100 high end, $108,000 a year. You're looking at maybe $24 million spent a year for them to develop a game that takes maybe 3 years, 3 to 4 years to develop. 4 years is $100 million. And that's high-end spending of a AAA game. Mm-hmm. You'll make that money back if the game's good and get the support behind it. Again, this is high-end, forcing people, paying the highest dollar for these people. It's not getting close to what this man is spending.
And that's also not even mentioning the fact that when these games go out and they're being sold for $70, and most of these big AAA games are gonna clear at least 1 million sales.
70 shit, this shit getting up to like 80, 90 now. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, some of them when they start to do that, hey, give us $10 more and you play the game 5 days early.
That part,
like, yeah. So it's like, yeah, they're like within the first week or 2, they're selling 1 million. They're recouping their development costs. So I mean, even if then maybe they're not making profit, they're breaking even, but they're bringing notoriety to your brand. They're putting eyes on your brand. But on the other end, this nigga is running away with 400 M's.
Being a piece of
shit. After running Activision into the mud. That's just, man.
With that, if we all put our hands up, that will be 2, 4, 6, 8 thumbs down for Microsoft, Activision, and their treatment for these developers, not publishers. Fuck them. Developers need to be treated better. Statistic. And those who have been defending of Xbox, I need y'all to be vocal. How y'all been vocal against Sony? Because y'all been mad silent.
I'm looking at you, Blake.
been mad silent. So
Where
I
you
hold
at, Blake?
grudges. I hold grudges.
Blake Myers.
I will never let shit
Blake
go.
Myers.
I'll never let it go.
Blake Myers.
I'll never let it go.
Blake Myers.
Name dropping is nasty.
I'm saying your name.
So,
like, where you at?
With that being said, I'm glad
Blake
everyone
Myers
stayed here, enjoyed conversations, allowed us to speak our piece on topics that we love to talk about. In another week, I hope your weeks went well. But we're at that part of that show where we like to give recommendations. Charlie, have you been here for recommendations before?
I've watched the show during recommendations, but I've not been here on stage during recommendations.
Okay, so we'll start.
Recommend something, sir.
Recommend something. And tell them where you come from and where they should watch you too.
Oh yeah, I can start a suggestion. I think there is a new little funky show coming on now that. Well, I have two. I'll tell you guys two real quick. One is currently coming out. It's a show called Interview with the Vampire, based off the novelization and the old show.
Where's that coming? What channel?
That's on not Star. Is it Stars? It's on a streaming platform. It's either Star. It's Star. It's one of the not off-brand ones, but I think it's Stars.
Okay, so
the first season,
got it.
First season was fucking gas. What I mean,
so it's already out.
Yeah, the first season's been out. The second season just dropped recently. And it's been spectacularly well written, and I think it's a lot more closer to the actual novel than previous movies.
The movie was fire, though. The movie was fire.
I didn't hate it. And then secondly, is the second season of a show I just did a review on my channel called Them. I think I mentioned it to y'all before. I think it was. People felt certain types of ways about it because it was very highly not racially motivated, but it dealt with a lot of racial issues with like a black family living in Compton in the 1940s when it was really majority white. But the second season is like a whodunit murder mystery ghost story. It's amazing. Second season is spectacular. Legends like Pam Grier makes an appearance in the series, and that season is dope. I recommend that to anybody. And then as far as where you can find me at, I'm Captain Diesel. You can find me at Captain Diesel's Dojo on YouTube, Cap Diesel 24 on pretty much every social media platform outside of TikTok, and that's just Captain Diesel 24 on TikTok. So I'm here. I do nerdy shit, and I enjoy doing it.
It's a great way to stand shit.
Great shit. Lady Gunner, your turn.
Hmm?
What's your recommendation?
My recommendation is come play with me on Overwatch. You know?
I see you got the controller in your hand.
I need to build a team. Tired of playing by myself sometimes, and you
owe me a night.
I can't. My back is only so big. Like I got a big back, but this back can't do everything. Like I'm just tired sometimes. You play. And anybody that wants to play Overwatch, you want to learn how to play, I got you.
I'll play.
I want to do competitive. We can do casual. You'll play. We can do casual. Like
Final Fantasy 14.
Of course. We could play some casual, and win or lose, we practicing because I'm a sucker for pain.
Hey yo!
Oh, side note: Marvel Rivals is going to put Overwatch 2 in the dirt, but Marvel Rivals is saying that you can't talk bad about their game. We'll probably put that in a post, but that's funny as hell. Sorry we missed that. Oh, she sent.
Apparently, they're revising that contract. They came out with an announcement saying they're revising it and allowing people to do so.
That's good because people were shitting on that. That was a dumbass contract. Greg, do your thing.
I'm going to recommend one thing. I'm going to recommend that you play indies. Done.
I didn't hear that part. You
play indies.
Oh yeah. Support Little Mike Nightmares 3. 1 and 2 is amazing.
That's it. I've got nothing else for you.
Good. My recommendation: be direct.
Yeah, fuck Xbox.
That part. Be direct. Be direct. I need motherfuckers to be direct. I've been holding my tongue. I've been holding my voice. I've been holding my attitude in a particular area because so many people have been saying it's not worth it, and it's not. But it just gets under my skin. Be direct. You know what I'm talking about. Derek Smith Jr. I'm there. Be direct. Stop throwing jabs. Stop saying you the king of this and you scared to tag people. You do all this stuff. You keep calling people out. I'm the vocal. I am your motivation, nigga. I'm the reason why you get shit done. You don't do anything by yourself. You cry online. You need money to get a lift. You need money to get Uber. You cry no one supports you. You cry no one pulls up. You keep talking about a city that you hate so much, but it's still in your fucking mouth. I have nothing positive to say. I don't like you. I don't like you. There will be nothing in this world for me to sit down and actually conversate with you, nigga. I don't fucking like you. But I'll play your game. I'll sit down. We'll conversate on any type of platform that you want so you can speak your ass so I can tell you directly, I don't fucking like you. You a dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're stupid. The shit you say is dumb as fuck. I don't care. There's nothing in this world. I will anything. We can meet in this ring, 4 corners, and we can get busy like that, or we can speak. We can fight with words. I don't care. I'm tired of this shit. You don't stand on shit. I know you got beat up in KSU, boy. I got your background. I got your paperwork. I know what you did. I know who you are. I'll pull the mirror. I know who you are. I got you. I know what you do. I got conversations. I know who you be hitting up when you sad. I know where you go when you be crying. I'm none of these people to play with. I'm none of these individuals to play with. Because I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I promise you I don't. I swear to God I don't. I don't. I'm not deleting what I said. I'm direct of what I say. I don't care. I don't. I'm tired of it. If this is going to be the end of it. If you're going to send a package of my shirt, make sure when you send my shirt, say #1 fan. I want that shirt. I will get the shirt. I will buy the shirt, say I'm your #1 fan. So you know somebody support your dumb ass. I ain't got shit else to say.
Clearance.
Give a fuck. I don't care. I don't beg people to support me. I don't beg people to do that. If you don't want to fuck with the shit I'm doing, that's fine. That's on you. God bless. Keep pushing. But now I'm not about to keep going out of the city that I know I don't care about. I'm not going to keep crying. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm not doing that shit. And I know you be watching. You're going to watch this. You're going to clip it up. That's what you do. I know. That's what you do. You watch. So that's my recommendation. Be direct. Say it with your whole chest. Wrap it up, Greg.
Shit.
I hate the way that you walk. I hate the way that you
Yeah, that part. That's me. I all that.
Man. Man. Perry, here. Take it.
Nah.
God damn.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand.
No, because it's about networking. Keep talking about the culture. You talking about the culture does not support you. There has been a plethora of black people that I've seen in this community of gaming space that talks about gaming, that talks about supporting black creators, going out to get Charlie's right here is one of them. He's the main vocal point. He's doing everything. He's the one who reminded me to go get a comic book on Comic Book Day. He's the one that's telling me to inform me what's going on. He reaches out and works with these people. He's younger than me, and he's showing me the game. Greg networks with people. We network with individuals that we can talk to and be open-minded about that, even though we disagree. I don't agree with people on my team.
You know what? And this is what I'm gonna say to close this out. Of course, everybody in the chat, shout out to y'all. But I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this a little different today because you said networking, Perry, and that really kind of hits on the head. With that being said, Chardy, Otis, Sadiqa. Who else? Zayana in the chat. Shout out to you.
Ray.
Who else?
King Oops.
Yeah. No, I'm not even talking about the people in the chat, but King Oops, at Ray as well, because Ray be doing this thing. But these are all people iconic that we may or may not have known in person, who we have met in the lane of content creation. And we have formed friendships and beautiful relationships with these people. You know what I'm saying? I can sit down and nerd out over Phantasmic's Water and Fireworks show with Sadiqa. I can play some Destiny with Otis or Charlie here. Like, we've made friends, we've made content partners, we've built relationships through this, through networking. So with that, I want to give y'all the heartiest gang. Much love, y'all.
Appreciate
Like,
y'all.
have a great week and enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday, because we had clearly we had some reads today. So go read your Bible now, because damn.
Go get your Bibles. Later, y'all.
Sheesh.